Let us look at a few Bode diagrams. We looked at the Bode magnitude plots, but let us look at the Bode phase plots. And let me review the Bode magnitude plot as well. So suppose we have a low pass filter. If you remember, we just saw first order low pass filter. An active low pass filter would have a transfer function like this, minus 10, say, and the cutoff frequency may be, say, 1000 radian per second. So we have 1000 here and s plus 1000 here. This is a first order loop active low pass filter. We will look at higher order low pass filters and the high pass filters later on. So a first order low pass filter would have a single first order factor in the denominator, and this 10 basically shows that it's an active filter. So if we are to make the Bode diagrams, both the magnitude diagram and the phase diagram for this transfer function, what steps should we take? So for the magnitude plot, Bode magnitude plot, the first steps would be to put S is equal to j omega and find h of j omega equal to minus 10, 1000 over 1000 plus j omega. And then using this, find basically the magnitude to be equal to the magnitude of this term. Minus 10 has a magnitude of 10, 1000 has a magnitude of 1000, and this thing is going to have a magnitude of 1000 square plus omega square and square root. And then we can either plot this for a normal plot, and the phase would have phase theta omega. Phase does not have iota in it. The phase would be equal to the phase of this thing, which is a real number, and basically a negative real number has a phase angle of 180 degree. Then a positive real number has a phase angle of, because this is being multiplied by this one, so the phases add up. So positive real has a angle of 0 degree, and then uh, minus, because that is in the denominator, tan inverse of omega over 1000. So this would be the phase. However, it is quite cumbersome for large h of s. These are very simple h of s, but if we are given an h of s, say, of this form, it is 10 s square plus s plus 5 or 50 divided by s plus 5 to s square plus 10s plus 500. Say, I have just randomly written it, but if you have to do all these steps, it's not very simple to follow these steps. Although I assume that these terms can be factorized easily, but there would be a rather simpler way of doing it, because if we just have to make the magnitude plot and the phase plot, then these expressions would help. But when we are to make Bode magnitude plot and Bode phase plot, then the steps are rather simpler. So instead of converting this h of s, let us for a moment assume that we are not dealing with a negative h of s. Let us say it is positive 1. So we don't have this term here that arise from this negative sign. So h of s is equal to 10 into 1000 divided by s plus 1000. If you have a transfer function with all the terms appropriately factorized, then try to convert each factor s plus something into a form where the denominator has such factors 1 plus s divided by that pole, whatever it is. All the factors should have this form. So in order to get this transfer function to that form, we need to take this 1000 out, and the rest of that can be written as 1 plus s over 1000, and then this 10 into 10th 1000 would make this equal to 10 over 1 plus s divided by 1000. We have to convert all the h of s in such a way that all the first order factors must be represented by 1 plus s divided by something. There must be 1 here, it's very important, and s here divided by something. All the s be converted in all the s plus something be converted in this form. So once you get h of s in this form, it is now very easy to see that h of j omega would be this 10 over 1 plus j omega over 1000, and we can very easily see, although it's not required, but I am just doing it for you, that h of j omega magnitude would be the magnitude of the numerator divided by the magnitude of the denominator complex number, and the theta omega would be equal to the phase of the numerator 0 minus tan inverse omega over 1000. So we see we got the same thing, but this is a convenient way for working with the transfer functions if we have to deal with the Bode plots. So once we have h of s in this form, we need to take the 20 log of this constant that we have to deal with. So the 20, because if you remember in Bode magnitude plots, we plot not h of j omega magnitude, we plot h dB, which is equal to 20 log of h of j omega magnitude. So when we are going to take 20 log of this thing, we are going to get 20 log of 10 minus, let me do this for you. So we are going to get 20 log of 10, it is in the numerator, and then this denominator term would come to be minus half, because log of this thing power 1 by 2, and when it goes up it will become minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, 20 log of 1 plus omega by 1000 square. Or if we don't bring it over here, just take this negative sign and then write it this way, it may be more convenient. So 20 log of 10, log of 10 is 1, 20 log of 10 would be 20, and then each of this term, if it is in the denominator, we know, we have seen that how to plot this. So if we are plotting a magnitude Bode plot, then we take the omegas on this logarithmic scale, log scale here, and suppose we all the critical frequencies that we deal with. So here in this expression, the critical frequency is 1000. So we take 1000 at an appropriate location, so 10 raised to power 3, and then 1 decade behind 10 raised power 2, 1 decade behind 10 raised power 1, 1 decade forward 10 raised power 4, and 1 decade forward 10 raised power 5. So all these are powers of 10. Similarly, 1 decade behind 10 raised power 0, which is 1, and then 1 decade behind 10 raised power minus 1, which is zero point 0.1, and so on. So we don't approach 0 actually on this scale, and on this scale we have HDB. So a value of 20 here, 0 here, and same linear scale. This is a linear scale, whereas the x-axis is a logarithmic scale, hence called the semi-log graph paper. If you are drawing this on a graph paper, you need a semi-log graph paper. So how you draw this? So you have actually two terms to draw, 20 log of 10 and then 20 log of this denominator term. So it's super easy. You don't need to write these terms all along. Once you reach here, that's it. It would be easy to see that you take 20 log of 10, which is 20. So this thing 20 log of 20 is a constant, and you just draw it by a constant line. Let me draw this in color. So this 20 log of 10 is a straight line that goes on forever because it's a constant. It's a constant, is not dependent on omega. How about this term? I told you how to draw this term to get at this critical frequency at 1000. Before 1000 it is 0. After 1000 it is in the denominator, so it goes down with the slope of minus 20 dB per decade. What was this decade? This distance, this much distance is known as a decade. Decade means a ratio of 10 times. So you see, between any two points this far, there is a ratio of 10 times. So for example, this point is 10 times per 0, which is 1. This point is 2. And this is 10 power 1, which is 10. And this point may be 20. So you see, this distance has a ratio of 10, and this distance also has a ratio of 10. So wherever on the graph you have this much distance, is a decade apart. And now you have two graphs, one graph coming from this term, the second graph coming from this term, that goes on as 0 up till the critical frequency, then goes down in a straight line till till plus infinity with a slope of minus 20 dB per decade. Now if you add these two, the addition is going to give us the resultant approximate Bode magnitude plot. So this is 0, this is 20. The sum will be 20. So we are going to get 20 till this point. And after this point, this remains 20, but this starts going down. So the sum of both of them would be a line that goes from down from here. So a parallel line to this line with a slope of minus 20 dB per decade. And this graph now is the approximate Bode magnitude plot. That's it. It's so simple. We don't have to do all these steps when asked in exam. Given an h of s, bring it into a form that is suitable for making Bode magnitude plots, and then plot each individual term, then sum them together. And can you see now? Can you see that the shape of this corresponds to a low pass filter? Lower frequencies have Lower frequencies have this pass band gain in dBs. Now this is again in dBs. This axis basically is gain in dB. So 20 dB is the gain of lower frequencies, lower than 10 raised power 3. And after 10 raised power 3, as the frequency increases, the gain starts decreasing. So it's a low pass filter. But this is an approximate one because of this corner. And I told you about a correction that needs to be applied to magnitude Bode plots or Bode magnitude plots. That correction says that look at how many first order terms do we have at this critical frequency of 1000. We have one term only. So with one term, we apply a 3 dB correction for each first order term. We will later see for higher order filters that if there are two such terms, that is this has a power of 2, then we would have a correction of 3 dBs, that is 6 dB. And if we have a third power 3 here, then a correction of 9 dB. But since this term has power 1, so there will be a correction of 3 dB. This is 10, this is 15, so a correction of 3 dB would be something like this. And we can take a different color pen to draw a corrected magnitude plot, which essentially is the same at all points except at this point where you have to join the two straight lines in a smooth fashion. Now this is known as the corrected Bode magnitude plot. So this makes the Bode magnitude plot for a low pass filter, first order low pass filter. Let me try to draw the phase plot here. The phase plot is quite simpler. Oh, this should be a straight line, but please treat it as a straight line. So let me try to take a similar axis as I have taken here. So this is omega. Again, the phase plot is also drawn on semi-log graph paper, and here it is not HDB now, it is theta omega. And with this H of S, the theta omega would be this. This is the theta omega, and we just have to draw this. And we don't need to take several values and try to join them. There is a Bode phase plot. Bode spent a lot of time because of this logarithmic scale. Bode phase plot, sorry. Because of this logarithmic scale, we can approximate the graph of this one. And Bode gave quite a lot of tricks for us to plot. Now suppose we have a similar scale here. I try to move this 10^3 a little further in order to clarify what is going to happen one decade behind this. So suppose this is 10^3, this is 10^2, this is 10^1, this is 10^0, and so on. And on this side we have 10^4 and 10^5 and so on. So on this scale we have theta, phase angles. So phase angle can go from 0 to 360, or phase angle can go from -180 to +180 degree. And basically this covers all of the 360 degrees. So when a phase angle is smaller than -180 degree, we try to show it as a positive number, and when it is larger than positive 180, then we represent it by a negative number, because we know that angles in a full circle are 360 degrees. So 0 degree and 360 degrees is the same thing. However, minus 180 degree and sorry, plus 180 degree and minus 180 degree is the same thing. So basically this value and this value are the same values. So that is why this range covers the whole phase angles. So depending upon what we need to plot, we may not be needing all the range. For example, we know that a single tan inverse term is limited within 0 and 90 degree. So however, this is with the negative sign, so between 0 and a minus 90 degree. So we are going to deal with a 0 degree line, say 45 degree plus. So this much scale, this much distance on this y-axis is 45 degrees, then 90 degrees, and then 135 degrees, and then sorry, all this in negative, minus 180 degrees. We don't need to go beyond this, because as we move beyond this, we actually go to the plus 180 degree sign and then all that. We don't need the positives here, so I have taken the negative values more frequently. And in fact, I just try to tell you how to draw the scale. We are not going to need the full line here, full values, range of values. So how to draw the phase plot? So if we have a single term in the denominator and the critical frequency is 1000, Bode says, okay, get to 1 decade behind 1000, and before that point, let me change the color. Before this frequency, which is 10 times less than the critical frequency, the phase plot would be 0. The phase would be 0. And 10 times greater than this frequency, the phase would be minus 90 because of this minus sign. So it is 0. It is a term in the denominator. So this is going to contribute to a negative phase. So that is why it is being drawn in on the negative side. And at this critical frequency, the frequency would the angle, phase angle, would be minus 45. So if we join this 0 and 90, it will automatically pass through the 45 degree line. So the slope of this part, this is 0, this is minus 90 degree, and the slope of this part is minus 45 degree per decade. That's right. That's it. This is a phase plot. We can assume, we know that there wouldn't be such kinks or corners in the actual phase plot, in the real phase plot, but there is no correction that can be easily applied to this. So we are content with this one. However, in reality, this would be something like this, passing through this 45 degree point and then a correction here this way. But we don't draw this. The approximate one is quite enough. So this is an approximate Bode phase plot. It's very simple for a low pass filter. So if on the other hand, suppose I'm just assuming things, if we were to have a h of s equal to, looking at this one, 10 times 1 plus s over 1000. So this is the h of s for which we need to draw the Bode magnitude plot as well as the Bode phase plot. Then all the difference that would be, this 10 terms is here common. So basically this line would be common, and instead of this line at this point going downwards, this is in the numerator now, this will go upward. So let me now plot this with the red one. So the red lines correspond to this. So we will take a upward, a slope of 20 dB per decade, plus 20 dB. So because this is in numerator, it will go up, and oh sorry, I have basically drawn the resultant one. So the resultant would be coming from at 20 and going upward. Or if this term, this part is to be drawn in isolation, it will be this line, a parallel line, the same slope, 20 dB per decade, going upward at this point. So for a term in the denominator, it goes down. For a term in the numerator, it goes up. And when we sum this part, this term with this plus 20 dB line, we are going to get a resultant, that is this. And what is going to happen here? I think you should have guessed now. It will go up. So it will be something like this, plus 90, 10 times the frequency. After 10 times the frequency, it will be plus 90. Before 10 times, less than 10 times lesser frequency, it will be 0. And between this, it will be a straight line. And at this, it will be 45 degrees. So the slope is 45 degrees per decade. So if the term is in the numerator, it will go up. If the term is in the denominator, in both plots, magnitude and phase plots, the term is in the denominator, we go down. So this is a Bode magnitude plot and phase plot for a low pass filter. Let me continue with this lecture and the video, and let us try to plot the Bode plot for a band pass filter. So Bode plots for a band pass filter. You will look at the specific details that I miss yourself, and I think it's a simple one to understand. So suppose h of s is equal to, let me try to find some transfer function that corresponds to a band pass filter. Let us assume we have a term of say 5 into 100 s over s plus 100. Let us make this 1000, s plus 100 and s plus 1000. So we have already factored this, and we know that we need to convert the h of s in a form that we get 1 plus s over 100 and 1 plus s over 1000, all the factors in this form. So from here we need to take 100 out, and from here we need to take 1000 out, so we get 10 raised to power 5 out. On the numerator we have 5 into 10 raised to power 3s. So what do we get here is 5 divided by 10 raised to power 2, which is 0.05 into s, don't forget this s, 1 plus s over 100, 1 plus s over 1000. I'm just speeding up, and you can try to make this for your own, on your own, and then try to see that we would be, it's not something difficult. So how to draw this term s is new thing here, and I will tell you that. So here we need to plot HDB for Bode magnitude plots. So let us look at the critical frequencies that are needed here. This s is actually s divided by 1. So 1 is a critical frequency, 100 is a critical frequency, 1000 is a critical frequency. So we need to choose a scale such that these terms are easily represented, easily provided. So let us say this is 10 raised to the power 3, corresponding to this one. 10 times 10 raised to power 4, 10 times less, 10 raised to power 2, this one, 10 times less, 10 raised to power 1, 10 times less, 10 raised to the power 0, which corresponds to this, and 10 times less, 10 raised to the power minus 1, and so on each side. And the scale here that we will later see based on what we are to deal with. So 20 log of 0.05 need to be handled here. 0.05 has a log of 10 based on minus 1.3, and when multiplied by 20 we get minus 26. So we have minus 26. So we are going to have a constant of minus 26. So instead of going plus positive, we are more likely to go negative. So if this is 0 and say this is 20, we may or may not draw. We can take this up if we like. And if this is minus 20 and this is minus 40 and this is minus 60 and so on, then if I change the pen here, bring in the blue one, then we need to draw the minus 26 dB line. So this is 30. Let us say this is 26. So we have a constant. I'm not using the graph paper, so it is quite approximate, although I am trying to make it as good as possible. But once again, I will share the Semilog paper so that you can have a fair idea of what the Semilog paper looks like. And in the exam you will be provided with the Semilog paper, so you would have to use that. I will inshallah give you a video, at least one video, and some PDFs to see how I have drawn a few of the transfer functions. So this is this term. So we can say this term is the term 1. So we have this graph 1 here. So let us now plot this one. Before this, let us plot the terms that we know. So what if we have a term 1 plus s over 1 here? Then we will go to the 1 frequency. We will have 0 before that, and if it would have been in the denominator, we would go down by minus 20 dB per decade. But since this is in the numerator, if we had a term 1 plus s over 1, we would have drawn 0, and it will go upward with the slope of 20 dB per decade. So it will go, this term does not have 1 plus here. So this term is actually a line with a slope of plus 20 dB. It is in the numerator, so it has 20 dB per decade. However, it does not become 0 and it becomes 0 before this frequency. For lower frequencies, it continues downward as well. It is just a straight line. It does not have a corner. So this is how to plot this one. So I have plotted this. So this I have put this one at a place where it is ambiguous. So this is 1, this is 2, and this term is 3. So how to plot this? 100 is 10 per 2 and is in the denominator. So we have 0 till this point, and then this is 20. So a line with minus 20 dB per decade downward. So this is minus 20. This point would be minus 40 and so on. This is minus 26, and then another downward. So basically we are going to have this one downward, just a parallel line to this one. Both have the same slope, so both go down. I should have drawn this a little lower. Why? Because you will see, because when we are going to add all these terms, so this is the fourth term, this is the third term, this is the fourth term. Now we need to add 1, 2, 3, 4, all the curves. So remember, this is a constant that remains minus 26 throughout, and all these lines. So both of these two, 3 plus 4, is 0 before this, 0 before this. This is minus 26. These are 0, and this line is a straight line coming from minus infinity and then minus 26. So if at this point which is 10 raised to the power 0, that is 1 radian per second, at this point this line is 0, this is minus 26, so the result would pass from this point. So actually a straight line going up and a constant when added together will be a straight line going upward. So this will be the resultant of 1 and 2, a parallel one, because this basically brings this down. So we will have such a line. So this will be the resultant. So I write resultant here, or in fact let me try to draw the resultant with this red one. So the resultant red would not be visible on the blue. So let us try to draw the black one. So it passes here, it goes upward, it keeps on going upward until something changes. So this remains constant, this continues upward, and these should be parallel. They don't look parallel here, so please ignore my not drawing it properly, but let us assume this is proper parallel. So it goes upward, it will go upward until 3 and 4 kicks in into the action. So at this frequency it will reach here, and then now we have a line that is going up with a frequency, with a slope of 20 dB per decade, and we are now to add it to something that is going down by a frequency of by a slope of minus 20 dB per decade. So a line going up with a slope of plus 20, a line going down with a slope of minus 20, when they are added together, it levels out. So basically its going upward trend is cancelled by its going downward trend. It becomes constant, and this remains the case because this line goes on forever. This goes on forever. This goes on forever. However, at this point, there is another, now this is a constant line that's going, and then it encounters something that goes down. So it starts going down along with it, and depends on how high it has gone. This is just an approximate value of this thing, and it will start going down, and I believe that its value should be higher than plus 20. Therefore we will have some frequency that will be later than 10 raised to power 4, and this line starts coming down with a slope of 20 dB per decade. This goes up with minus 20. This goes up with plus 20 dB per decade. This is constant, and at what value, let me approximate it. If it is minus 26 here at this point, then it will be minus 6 here, and if it is minus 6 here, then it will be, no, it will not be higher than 20. It will indeed be minus 14 dB. And if this is minus 14, it should not pass beyond 10 to the power 4. Rather, it should pass within this frequency. However, since the graph is not according to a scale, therefore we cannot see this very easily, but I hope you understood. Had this point been at minus 20, we would pass exactly at this point at 10 to the power 4. However, since we have this point at minus 26, so at 10 to the power 1 we will be at minus 6, and then here we will be at 20 minus 6, that is minus 14, and then we go down here. This would be a lesser frequency, but I have sort of corrupted it. Let me just, it will not look parallel to this line, but it will pass in this way. So now look at this resultant curve. This is the resultant, the approximate one. And how would the correction be applied? The correction would be applied at all the corners. So we have a corner here. This does not have a corner. So this corner is inward. Inward we apply correction of 3 dB, minus 3 dB, because they are in the denominator, and the overall corrected resultant is going to pass this way from the corrected points, and then would match the straight lines to both direction. So this red will be corrected ones, where this is a correction at approximately minus 11 dB and a minus 11 dB, because the correction is 3 dB of 3 dB, 3 dB from the graph. So by the shape of the resultant, you can see it is a band pass filter. There is a hump, then the lower frequencies are not good at passing and the higher frequencies are also not good at passing. These frequencies in the range 100 to 1000 radian per second are more easily passed or have a higher pass band gain. That is what is required. So this was the Bode magnitude plot, and if we now turn to the Bode phase plot, it should not be something overly difficult. So we are dealing with a constant zero phase with that, and a j omega. This is just an imaginary term. So an s in the numerator has means we are dealing with a plus 90 degree. So if this is plus 90 degree, then this is plus 45 degree, 0 degree, minus 45 degrees, and minus 90 degrees and beyond on the each side. And if suppose this is 10 raised to the power 3, then this is 10 raised to the power 2, this is 10 raised to the power 4, this is 10 raised to the power 5, 10 raised to the power 1, 10 raised to the power 0, and so on. So here once again, how we are going to draw 0 degree phase associated with this one, plus 90 with this one. So for phase diagram, let us use the red pen. So we say it is a plus 90 degree line. So this is the first term, and this is the second term. The second term would be is in the denominator. So the critical frequency is 10 raised to the power 2. So a decade before it, 0 before it, after a decade, plus 90 degree after it, and a straight line here. So at this point it would be minus 45. And what about this, the 1001? Similar thing. At 1000, a decade before 1000, it will be 0. So this is the second curve, and then exactly a similar line here. It will be plus 90 afterward, after this, and 0 before this, and at this point it would be minus 45. Please excuse this one. This should be 10 raised to the power 3 here. I hope when you draw it on a proper graph, it will be much easier. Now, what is really of importance is to understand that how we are going to add these together. So look at this part. These two curves are both 0. However, this is plus 90 degree. So what would be the sum of 0, 0 and plus 90? It would be plus 90. So it plus 90 would stay and go on until something happens. So that something happens here. So the constant just starts going down with the slope of, what would be the slope? Plus minus 45 degree, minus 45 degree per decade, and this will carry on until we reach this frequency. So basically, if this downward slope is minus 45 degree per decade, then in a decade it will fall from plus 90 to plus 45. However, at this point there is another line that is starting to fall. So this is going down with a slope of minus 45, then another line gets added to it. So it will start falling with a slope of minus 90 per decade. So it will fall to this point, and this the slope of this fall will now be minus 90 degree per decade. This is minus 45 degree per decade. This is minus 90. So in a decade, it will fall from minus 45 to plus 45 to minus 45. At this point, one of them levels up. So basically, the falling rate will reduce from minus 90 to minus 45, and it will continue falling along this one, and then it will level up because the falling will also end here. And you can also check this from here. So this is a constant, it is plus 90, and we have two curves that is at minus 90. So minus 90, we have at minus 90 we have two values. So minus 90 is minus 180. So adding these two together is going to give us minus 180 here, and plus 190. So minus 180 plus 90 is minus 90. So here the resultant must have a value of minus 90 degree. Here the resultant must have a value of plus 90 degree. So two factors in the denominator have brought this down by this much, whatever it is, because it depends on the frequency where they are. If the frequencies are further apart, it will further down drop down, and if it drops beyond minus 180, it will in fact come back up from this point, because minus 180 line and the plus 180 line is the same. So basically we get this is the resultant Bode phase plot. That's it.